Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. In this video, we're going to learn about configure inventory setup, which is the part of MB 800 exam, and it's the part where it says configure sales and purchase is 15 to 20%. And part of inventory setup, which says setup inventory, configure inventory setup is the first part of that. So let's see how it works. So we're going to go to tell me option. Inventory setup. So we're gonna know all about these fields, what they do and how it works with them. So the first one is automatic cost posting. So that specifies if value entries are automatically posted to the inventory account, adjustment account and COGS account in general ledger when an item transaction is posted. Alternatively, you can manually post the values at regular intervals with a post inventory cost to GL batch job. Note that cost must be adjusted before posting to the general ledger. Second one shows expected cost posting. That specifies if a value entry originated from receipt or shipment posting, but not from invoice posting or recorded in the general ledger. Expected cost represents the estimation of, for example, a purchase item cost that you record before you receive the invoice for the item. To post expected costs, internal account must exist in the general ledger for the relevant posting group, and expected costs are only managed for them item transactions, not for them immaterial transaction types such as capacity and item charges. Third one, we got automatic cost adjustment. So we got different option. You wanna set automatic one for a day, week, month, quarter, year, always. So what is that? That specifies if item value in entries are automatically adjusted when an item transaction is posted. This ensures correct inventory valuation in the journal ledger, so the sales and profit statistics are up to date. The cost adjustment forward any cost changes from inbound entries such as those for purchase or production output. To the related, it goes to the related outbound entries such as sales and transfers. To minimize reduced performance during posting, select the time option to define how far back in the time from the work date an inbound transaction can occur to potentially trigger adjustment of related output value entries. Alternatively, you can manually adjust costs at regular intervals with adjust cost item entries batch job. Fourth one shows default costing method. It can be anything: FIFO, LIFO, specific, average, standard. So the default, it specifies how your item cost flow is recorded and whether an actual or budgeted value is capitalized and used in cost calculations. Your choice of costing method determines how the unit cost is calculated by making assumptions about the flow of physical item through your company. So a different costing method on item cards will override this default. So you can also check other design details for costing methods as well for further help. The next one, we got average cost calculation time. So you can have an item or item location and variant. So that specifies if the item value entries are automatically adjusted when an item transaction is posted. This ensures correct inventory valuation in the journal ledger, so the sales and profit statistics are up to date as well. The cost adjustment for any cost changes from inbound entries such as those for purchase or production output to related and outbound entries, such as sales or transfers. To minimize reduced performance during posting, Select a time option to define how far back in the time for the work date and inbound transaction can occur to potentially trigger adjustments of related outbound values entries. And alternatively, you can manually adjust cost at regular intervals with adjust cost items and such as item entries batch up. The average cost period is very important. That will specify the period of time used to calculate the weighted average cost of item that apply the average cost methods. I mean, all inventory decreases that were posted within an average cost period will receive the average cost calculation for this for that period. If you change the average cost period only open fiscal years, that will do that. And then we got a copy command to order to ship. Must just make it bigger. There. Rotation. So that specifies that you want the program to copy the comments and turn on the transfer order to the transfer shipment. The next one is copy comments order to receipt. That specifies that you want to program to copy the comments entered on the transfer order to transfer receipt. Then we got outbound handling time. That specifies a date formula that calculates the time it takes to get item ready to ship. The time element is used to calculate the delivery date as follows. That will be like shipment date plus outbound warehouse handling time. That's equal to planned shipment plus shipping time. So that's equal to planned delivery date. So you can put the time there. And this one, inbound warehouse handling time, that specifies a date formula that calculates the time it takes to make item available in inventory after they have been received. I mean, the time element is used to calculate the expected receipt date as follows. So there will be order time plus lead time calculation, that's equal to planned receipt date plus inbound inventory, so warehouse handling time plus safety lead time, that's equal to all that equal to expected receipt date. This side, if you go that button is to prevent negative inventory. I mean, it specifies whether you can post a transaction that will bring the item in inventory below zero, and negative inventory is always prevented for consumption and transfer type transactions. And then variant mandatory if exists, that specifies whether a variant must be selected if variant exists for an item. This is default setting for all items. However, the same item is available on the item card page for items, and the setting applies to the specific item as well. Next one, we got a skip prompt to create. That button will specify if the message about creating a new item card appears when you enter an item number that does not exist. So you can skip that as well. And the next one is copy item decreasing to entries. So specifies if you want to, description. This is copy item description to entries, which is specifies if you want the description item card to be copied to item ledger entries during posting. Allow inventory adjustment is always turned on. That specifies if you want to allow manual adjustment of inventory in the item card. So the location is the next option we got here location mandatory. If you turn this on, then obviously that will specify you if the location code is required when posting item transactions. This field, together with the components at location field in the manufacturing setup window, is very important in governing how the planning system handles demand line with without location codes. And you can also check planning with without location in the help section of learn.microsoft.com as well. Dimensions, very important, item to group dimension code. So that specifies the dimension code that you want to use for product groups in analysis reporting. And the last option we got numbering. So in numbering, as usual, is number series for different things. You've got item numbers, catalog numbers, transporter numbers, posted transaction, transfer shipment numbers, receipts numbers, direct transfer, direct postings. That's inventory side. That's like a physical inventory order numbers, and you can check over that. Obviously, that's the number series available for these. We normally use obviously it's trial version, so you can check what's going on and obviously what inventory series you need. So if you want to change it, you can click one of that and you can change it as well. But it depends on you what kind of number series you want to give it to. These numbering these items or inventory in inventory setup. So I hope you understand the basics of inventory setup, and thanks for watching.